my beauties, my name is Jan Benham from Purèz Cosmetics, and it's been a while since I've done a tutorial, and because we are going live with Instagram this coming weekend on Sunday, I thought I would do a special on how to apply the Purèz Perfect Complexion Kit. So this is the complexion kit. And the reason why we made this is people have a lot of confusion about how to apply mineral makeup. And I found that when I was doing makeovers, I found those 3 products that we used on the face that seemed to work well for most people. So most Caucasian skins. So I thought this would be perfect as a kit for starting out. So learning how to use mineral makeup, which is so good for your skin. And then from then on, once you have done that, then you can then start to look at different shades of foundation. So for example, we do give out samples, generous samples actually, of foundations, which come like that. And usually it's 4 colors, I think, that come. So you can choose light to medium, medium or dark. And then you can choose the perfect foundation shade for you. But for now, let's look at the complexion kit. So basically there are 3 products in here. The first one being a yellow concealer, which is really a corrector. So this corrects redness, it corrects brown spots, any blemishes that you might have, dark circles under the eyes, for example, and it also brightens up, so you can use it as a highlighter. So this does the main work for the foundation, and then you don't need to apply so much foundation either. So this is really one of the most important products. The next one is a foundation that I found that works well for most skins. It's more of a neutral, so it works for warm and cool and neutral skin tones. And it covers well, and you can always add more layers. So I usually suggest just 1 layer, and I'm going to be demonstrating in a moment. And last but not least, once you've got your blank canvas, you do need some shaping and some shading. So this particular bronzer is very good for shaping the face and also for adding color back to the areas where you want color. So the brushes that we use, we also sell brush kits, and the brushes that I like to use with this kit is a Kabuki Brush for the foundation, a Slanted Blush Brush for the bronzer, and then a concealer brush to apply the yellow corrector, which then it allows you just to go to specific areas. So let's get on with this. So first of all, I do have eye makeup on, but I have no face makeup on. And so I thought we'd start with the yellow corrector. So when you apply it, you make sure that you mix it upside down and you have the product in your lid. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to see where I need my corrector. So for myself, for example, and when you apply, you just put the brush in, give it a good, there's a bit of hair here, just a second, there we go. Shake off the excess, you can always apply more. And then for myself, I'm going to apply a little bit just around my nose area that gets a little bit red here. And I have a blemish, I think around here. And a blemish around here. And then I also have a brown spot here. I'm going to put a little bit here. And then where I want brightening is on my chin, on my forehead, and I'm going to add a little bit more here. And then I don't really have too many dark circles under the eyes, but if I did, don't apply too much here, and don't apply to anything that's to the area right underneath your eye. So the whole point of makeup is to bring out what you want to bring out and to recede what you want to recede. So for example, if you want everything to come out, you apply lighter colours. So this would be bringing out. So you don't want to make bags under your eyes stand out more. So do not apply all the way underneath your eye. Where you apply it is right where your dark area is. So say just underneath here on the inside, just underneath the eye here. But don't go all the way across. I'm going to just do this the other side. So this is where, but you don't apply any areas that you want to, you just want to basically correct. So here, for example, is a good place. On the top of the cheekbones is a good place. Now to just blend it in, I'm just going to brush over. Not too much, just a little bit. Now another trick is don't apply where there's a lot of wrinkles, because it will settle in them and it will make them more obvious. So keep away from doing that. And a blemish right here and a blemish right here. So I'm just having another touch up here. And I can always add a little bit more later. Then I go to the foundation and the same principle applies. So again, tap the back of the foundation, bring it over. Now you will have, some people do have this in, and you can rip it off if you want to. So in some cases, I'll show you where I've ripped off one. So you just tap a little bit excess into the lid. That's about as much as I have here. I'm going to swirl my Kabuki brush into the lid. And what you want to do, you want to apply the majority of your foundation in the center of your face, not to the outside. So don't start here. Start in the center, and I'm going to particularly apply it first of all to my nose area and up the center and the chin. And then you can use the rest of your brush to just swirl around the rest of your face. So you don't need to use more than that. Most cases you don't need to apply a lot of foundation here. Now I would suggest also you apply foundation under on your neck as well. It helps to protect from the sun. So I'm going to apply a little bit underneath the chin here, down here, and onto my décolleté. Another thing you can use a lot of afterwards is if you want to use your fingers just to make sure everything is blended in, then your fingers have natural oils. So I'm just applying basically 2 coats there. So the main area is here, the rest is out to the side. And then the final is to use the bronzer. Again, tapping. Now this bronzer goes on very strongly, so I would suggest that you go light here. So when you get your lid with the bronzer in, make sure you tap a lot of it off. Okay? And then I'm going to just apply a little to the outside. Don't go too far in, just apply there. And again, the other side. And then up around under the chin. So you want to get underneath the chin. This acts like a natural shaping. So your skin here, you want to minimize this. So use a darker shade underneath your chin. And again, what you can do here is apply a darker foundation underneath your chin. So again, up, around, over. And again, I like to go down the neck and a little bit onto the décolleté here. And then just use the rest of your brush just to apply. And then that gives the colour back onto your skin and also softens up, so you want to apply a little bit here, a little bit round here and a little bit underneath. And that is it. So it's very simple, very quick, very easy. And we'll go into embellishments that you might want to apply when we do the eye makeup. So I do hope you find this helpful, and if you have any questions, please contact me. Otherwise, it's bye for now.